Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Louis DeYoung. I am the team lead for Marketplace. By way of background, I joined Geotab about 7 months ago after the acquisition of BSM, where I spent the last year as the CEO. And so I had some experience with Marketplace from a reseller perspective. And so the opportunity to get a little bit more involved post-joining has been great, and to work with the Marketplace team. A couple things I want to accomplish this morning. First is just to walk through a little bit about what we're doing, what our goal is with Marketplace, why we're doing it, what's driving that, and then how to get connected with us, how to engage with us, and then lastly, if I succeeded in that, on how to reach out and how to come together with our team and how we can help you, both as a partner, as a reseller, engage with it, with the end customer. So I thought I would start by just talking a little bit about what we refer to Marketplace as our advantage here, competitive advantage, is the power of choice. And so I thought I would start with our mission statement. And our mission here at Marketplace is to build this vibrant ecosystem of integrated telematics-related products and services that allow Geotab users to extend that data beyond just their fleet management system, but to extend it into other parts of the organization. And the question of why we would be doing this, when I had the opportunity yesterday to tour some journalists around through the Marketplace, and one of the journalists asked the question of, like, this is great, but why? Why are you doing it? And so, it's a great question, and the reason is it's got everything to do with how Geotab approaches product development. And when you're a tech company, you have to constantly innovate and you have to constantly reinvest. And I think that's pretty intuitive, but how do you do that? Do you choose to focus on a core competency and go really deep in the product, or do you go wide? Do you just, start to move into adjacent markets? And for Geotab, that conviction of wanting to be that category leader in fleet management and to be the platform for the connected vehicle, we've decided very clearly that we are going to go deep in our vertical, and then we're going to deal with the breadth issue by partnering with other solution providers that allow us to then put together a best-of-breed solution for the end customer. So it's about trying to position the product by combination of category-leading telematics coupled with industry-leading solutions that allow us to extend that beyond. And I think the decision to do that is what's kind of really led us to be able to focus on our core vertical and to build dominant position there, and then to allow that to be a jumping off point for other things. The example I think that is best that I can think of is in this year was video. And so video has become very topical, and we were questioned a lot about, what is Geotab going to do for video? What is Geotab? Geotab, you need a camera. And so when we stopped and think about that, you think, okay, well, video, do we just need a forward-facing camera? Do we need a forward in cab? Do we need 5 camera? Do we do edge computing? Do we invest in AI and machine learning to calculate distraction events, right? So that's all very complex. And our approach has been to bring the Marketplace and to say that it's more beneficial to our end users, our end customers, if we can then partner with category leaders in video to allow the end user to have that video experience and to position the reseller competitively in the Marketplace with a best-of-breed solution. So that's sort of what drives the whole concept behind it. Now, video is one example, but the same things applies to routing, dispatch, fuel cards, asset tracking. The principle applies is that it's a concept of bringing what we do well and then partnering with an ecosystem and what they do well to bring together a market fit solution. So just a snapshot of where we are in Marketplace right now. We have about 200 solutions on Marketplace, and a solution being everything from a simple one-click Excel download all the way through to a more complex third-party provided solution. We have 76, I think actually 77 now after yesterday's announcement. We have 77 marketplace partners, and these partners are, solutions are all available on an integrated basis through the Geotab marketplace. We're led, we have a team of 14 dedicated professionals. Great team. It's working to drive marketplace. We've got some great plans for 2020, and very excited to be here. So why do we want to, or why should you as a reseller, why should you as a Geotab partner want to get engaged in marketplace? I think the first thing is that the solutions on marketplace have gone through a level of due diligence. They're vetted. We've run them through a business analysis. We run them through a security, legal. Our team of solution engineers works with the partner on the integration. And so you have the confidence as when you're talking to your end customer about extending the product, extending the portfolio, you have the confidence that you're dealing with a vetted and secure solution. The second is, and I think it's probably the most important, is the ability now to custom fit and purpose build solutions. So take your end customer, take the business requirements, and Marketplace allows you, to combine leading telematics, the leading telematics platform, with a purpose-built, best fit solution. And that, we refer to as the power of choice. And we think from a competitive perspective, versus an all-in-one, one-size-fits-all, we think this is actually a better way to approach meeting your end requirements. And the last piece here is this concept of extending telematics data. So customer has a Geotab, has invested already in Geotab. He's got all this great data, and we want to be able to allow them to leverage that investment and have that data flow throughout the organization. And that really, again, from a positioning perspective, the expandability option on the Geotab platform is, we think, another competitive advantage, and it's something that really in this particular environment we're in is a unique approach, and it's a different approach, but we think it's with the end user and end customer in mind is how we can really best fit. That allows you to, we think the benefits of that, collateral benefits of that, are reduced churn, a stickier product, and ultimately, a more successful business. So if you're interested and want to get more information and want to contact us, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can always start with your PAM, your partner account manager if you're a reseller. Your partner account manager will either know or will know someone who'll know, and they can route the request. We're introducing a new position this year, a channel engagement manager. Andy's going to be first. He's going to migrate into that role this year. And that's meant to sit between the PAM and general marketplace and to really help drive and promote adoption of marketplace, working with our reseller partners on the identification of possible solutions. And then once we're moved through the process a little bit, to then engage with our BDMs. And our BDMs are subject matter experts. And I think this is probably one of the more underutilized resources of Marketplace. If you have a customer, if you as a reseller have an interest in learning about a category, whether it's video, whether it's asset tracking, whether it's mobile forms, we have a dedicated team of BDMs that are a valuable resource in terms of really helping understand general category information, but even more importantly, specific solution and where that solution information, where that solution may best fit. And so they can help you curate a combined best purpose, best fit solution based on my Geotab plus the appropriate partner. And in different use cases, there's going to be different partner selection. And that's where the BDMs can really absolutely help you drive value. And then the last thing we're doing is we're adding a lot more content this year on the page for self-help, for the ability to get more information, both on individual solutions, on the marketplace as a whole. We're going to be adding more content, and it'll be a great stop, a great source for product knowledge. Just want to share a couple of our 2020 priorities. Internally, we have 4 big things that we're focused on. 2 of them are external, so I thought I would share them with you. And the first thing is deeper integration. So this strategy of saying we're going to go really deep and we're going to get product breadth by partnering with marketplace solution providers only really works if we have a tight integration. If we have an integration that functions well, that feels native, And that allows you to confidently, again, position the product with the customer, help define requirements, and picking a solution. But that integration has to be strong. It has to feel native. And so, in fact, half our workload this year, the projects that we've got focused from a solutions engineering perspective, half of it is actually going back with existing partners, going back through and improving on the integration. Some of the integrations happened a number of years ago. We've got improved APIs since then. And so our team is going to be working with our marketplace partners to come back and refresh that integration and, again, improve that overall native experience. And the last thing we're doing, or the other thing we're doing, is to try to simplify the experience. And we've got a couple examples of that shortly. Dan's going to get up here and talk about the website. Moose is going to talk about hardware by now, and both are prime examples of what we're trying to do to reduce the friction in the process. There's a series of things that we're working on this year to really try to make engaging with the marketplace as a whole more simple, more straightforward, so allowing for a easier process for both partners and for resellers. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dan, and Dan will walk us through the new website.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Dan Young. I'm the product owner for Marketplace. I don't know, has anybody been to the Marketplace over the last 2-3 weeks? Okay. So we recently went through a drastic shift as far as the UI. We updated to a new website. So the Marketplace of yesterday simply allowed a person to do transactional shopping. But the Marketplace of the future and the Marketplace of today not only allows the user or the reseller or the end customer or partner to not only shop, but you could also learn more about the solutions themselves as far as categories go, and also do comparison shopping. So that is the future of the Marketplace. So we launched the new iteration just about a week ago. We had a soft launch a few weeks ago, and some of the great functionality we'll go over during this presentation. So one of the things we did with our product categories, we wanted to simplify the user experience by eliminating and consolidating a number of different product categories. This makes it a lot easier for user navigation, makes it a lot easier from a business standpoint as a reseller, right? So you can focus on core areas of your business and adding products into your portfolio. One of the new very easy ways to find solutions is our new search. We added a smart search functionality. This is really great. Not only can you search by solution name or product type or by region, you can actually search by keywords. So this is a completely new functionality. We added about 1,000 new keywords to the new Marketplace. So you could search things like paperless forms or misplaced assets, and you'll be able to reverse engineer back into a solution that fits underneath those solution tags. So it's a really great way for someone to shop as far as what they're looking to address as far as the business needs. And this is something that's going to keep growing over time. We're going to have our partners have the ability to actually add more keywords. So this way, if they're tagged under different subsets, an example for cameras would be dual-facing or front-facing cameras. That could be a keyword search. If you're looking for fuel tax, you could type that in and get a return on that as well. So the end goal here was to create the ultimate shopping experience. Something like you've never seen in any other marketplace when it comes to telematics. We are the largest telematics marketplace, and we wanted to build a website that reflected that. So, there's a number of ways you can filter down by solution, again, by doing it by region if you're international, right? You can go to different languages that are supported within the marketplace now. You can also look at different areas of Europe and partners that actually are tagged in Europe that you can deploy there. We also recreated the whole new product page and providing intuitive ways for people to find information and additional resources when it comes to looking at the different products on the marketplace. Sir? Great question. So it's a public-facing website, so it's both geared towards the reseller while also for the end customer. Later on in 2020, we are planning out a back-end version of the marketplace, which will be solely reseller-focused. And that would include doing things that are more sales enablement strategies and content to position you guys, to sell the solutions a lot better, more effectively. So something that is new to the marketplace that we didn't have before is we have segmented by different industries. This has been something that the resellers have been requesting for quite some time. A lot of portfolio products that you sell, you know that they're for field services, or they might be for educational purposes, or state and local government. Now you can go to the marketplace and look up categories by industry types. As I said before, international ready. So anybody international in the group? Okay. So just for you, we have it by region and by language, so you can look up which partners are supported in whatever native language is closest to you guys. The shop and compare functionality. This is, again, something that's really unique to the marketplace. To my knowledge, we don't have any other marketplace in the industry that has this comparison functionality. Today, it's pretty simple. This is kind of our version 1 of the marketplace comparison chart. Today, you can compare what type of plans that the products run off of, what type of support structure as far as customer service goes, what type of integration we have with them. Is it a light integration? Is it a deeper integration? This is a really great thing that's going to grow over time. The second version of this will actually have a product category level comparison. And that means by looking at cameras, you could see which ones are front facing, which ones have a certain length of memory within the cameras themselves. And as far as content strategy, this is something that's coming in 2020. We have 4 key areas of our strategy when it comes to marketplace content. Essentially, we're going to be primarily focused on marketplace as a product and promoting the product itself, which therefore would elevate our partners. We're also going to be writing a lot of category level content and industry content, right? So these are things that you can use as deliverables as a reseller to ultimately send to your customer to gain interest back, and leverage those. And then also on a partner level, we're going to be looking for a lot. Who's partners in here, by the way? Okay, good amount of partners. So for you guys, everything's about visibility, right? So for you, if you want to gain visibility within the ecosystem, one way you could do that is writing really good, engaging content. And we're going to look to publish that information on the website itself. So that gives you the visibility while also providing really good, value-first content for the resellers and the end customers. And then lastly, what we wanted to do is segment Geotab products both collectively and separately from the marketplace. So there's a dedicated filter where you can actually filter down solely by custom reports, IOX, adapters, things like that are Geotab products. And then you could also look at third-party solutions isolated from those. In the old marketplace, unfortunately, you couldn't do that. That was something that we got feedback from, that you'd kind of get a blend of mix of custom reports, mixed with cameras, mixed with a lot of different areas. Now you can actually go in and segment, by Geotab solely products, and then also collectively together with the rest of the ecosystem. So it's actually a good segue for the Geotab hardware buy now for Musa.
This forward. Okay. Thanks, Dan. Good morning, everyone. Just a quick disclaimer. I just gave this portion of the presentation in the previous 8:30 session about our hardware roadmap. So if this is the second time you hear it, I'm sorry about that. I won't be offended if you have to go somewhere else. But what I wanted to talk to you today is the hardware buy now program that we are introducing to the marketplace. Some of you who are more familiar with the marketplace are probably aware that 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we introduced the buy now program on software solutions. This basically gave the end user or the customer the ability to install software solutions or add-ins straight into their My Geotab database right off the marketplace from within their database with a quick, easy, quick install. Which then would have started the transaction with the marketplace, with the reseller in terms of the billing and the subscription of the devices or database to any given solution. So what we're doing now is we're really bringing that same functionality to hardware, starting with Geotab hardware. So the overall journey of this solution is that the customer themselves can go to the My Geotab database and browse to the marketplace section from there, browse to the solution that they want to purchase, and provided that it is a buy now capable solution, they'll be able to enter a quantity and their shipping information and submit the order right there and then. All this does really is it creates a pending order in my admin for the reseller. So the customer can make the purchase or can at least select the product that they want to purchase and the quantity. The rest is business as usual in MyAdmin for the reseller in terms of modifying, canceling, changing the shipping information, the quantity, whatever they want, just like they do today in MyAdmin with their standard orders. We also will, at that point, once the order is submitted, we'll confirm to the customer that the order has been submitted in MyAdmin. So we'll wait until we get a response from MyAdmin that the order has been logged. And we'll provide the customer or the end user a PO number, the same one that the reseller sees in MyAdmin, to confirm that the order has been placed. And it gives them a reference number to go back to their reseller and follow up on the order. And we ask them to save that page. But from that point onward, all communication will be between Geotab and reseller. So when the order is eventually fulfilled, when it ships, tracking information, all that information will be sent to the reseller, and it's the reseller's responsibility to keep their customer informed. And there are also multiple ways to control that on the MyGeotab side by the MyGeotab database admin in terms of who has access to buy now products, especially that they will expose pricing. And who can purchase buy now products also. They might be able to see but not purchase, or you may not want them to be able to purchase at all. So all that functionality is completely customizable in MyGeotab by the MyGeotab admin, and obviously by the reseller if the reseller already has access to the database. On the reseller side, the customization is more on the pricing. So obviously every reseller, every customer, every product, every region has its own needs, has its own circumstances. So it was very important for us, and we recognize that luckily early on, that we need to give the reseller the capability to customize pricing at an ERP-wide level, at an account-wide level, but also at a customer level. And we'll see some screens later that describe how that happens. And last but not least, on the product side, for Go devices, or really in the future for any devices, whether Geotab or third party, any devices that are associated with a rate plan, you'll be able to, as a user, select the rate plan that you want to be on. And then the system passes that same information into the pending order in MyAdmin for the reseller to modify or submit and confirm. And then the customer shipping information that are entered in MyGeotab are also saved to make for a more seamless, more repeatable experience for the user if they were to order the same product in the future multiple times. Obviously, all the pricing, like I said, it's customizable by the reseller, but we also include text to the customer to indicate that the final pricing or the final cost of the transaction, of the purchase, will come to them from their reseller, because ultimately, the reseller may choose to add more products to the order. They might decide to ship one way or another, expedited, non-expedited. So final cost will always come from the reseller. What we expose to the customer is the price of the hardware itself. So the first screen here is basically on the marketplace. Once you find a solution, you go in, you click buy now, you enter a quantity. The rest of the information is not mandatory, even though you can submit it. And then the system will then process the order. It's basically just talking to MyAdmin at this point, confirming that the order has been placed. It'll generate a buy now number, as you can see on the screen. And it'll also give the customer or remind the customer who their reseller is and provide them with their contact information so they can easily reach out and follow up in the future. So we're seeing that again. The order takes a few seconds to process. And then that screen that you see at the very end is the one that contains all the information that the customer will need to follow up in the future. At this point, as I mentioned, we stop communicating with the customer, and all future emails will be to the reseller. This screen just gives an example of what a Go9 product or a product with a rate plan looks like. It's just an additional field with a rate plan option, or with the ability to select a rate plan. Now, when it comes to rate plans, we don't have, or we're not offering the capability to customize the pricing of the rate plan yet. And therefore, we won't be exposing rate plan costs to the end user. It's just a drop-down menu where you can select from between the multiple tiers. And in the solution page, the customer will be able to see the different tiers that each rate plan offers, or the different feature sets that each tier offers. Also in my Geotab is the ability to audit what purchases were made. So let's say you give multiple people the ability to make a purchase from within my Geotab. You can at least always go back and see what orders were submitted. Not only what orders were submitted, but also who submitted them, the quantity that was purchased, at what price, and by which person. This is historical information only. This does not get updated as the order then goes through the series of events after, such as cancellation or confirmation, but at least it logs when the order is made and who it was logged by, who it was made by. On the MyAdmin side for the reseller, so what we're seeing here is basically how to browse to the marketplace section of MyAdmin where you can control all the solutions. If you are a reseller that manages multiple ERPs, you select the account that you want to customize, you select the product, and then in the next screen, we can see how you can edit pricing. So there's an edit pricing section where you can select an override price for all your customers, which is the first option there. Or you can then additionally, on top of that, add the databases that you want to customize further. You may want to give a particular customer a specific discount or larger margin. You can do all of that from the same interface. And then the table that you can see in the bottom maintains a list of all the specific customers that you customize pricing for. And similarly, you can go back and cancel the customization if you are happy with the Geotab MSRP as it is, or if you want to modify pricing, it's all done through the same interface. Okay, so in conclusion, what is going to happen in the near future basically is we're at a point where we feel we are ready to start introducing buy now, at least to a limited number of hardware products. Like I said at the beginning, it is going to be restricted to Geotab products at this point. There's more work to be done, more on the business side, but also some technical work that we need to do to enable third-party products to be sold on the marketplace. But before the end of Q1, hopefully in February sometime, as a reseller, you'll receive an announcement with all the details about the products that are going to be converted to buy now. And we'll be giving you a 2-week period to customize pricing whichever way you want. It'll be a manageable number of products. We don't want to overwhelm our resellers with tens or hundreds of products that they need to go and customize pricing on. So it'll be a staged approach while we continue to also build out the functionality over the rest of the year and into the years to come. Some things that come to mind as to what we want to do to enhance this functionality is right now we don't have the ability to group products within the same solution page, which limits our ability to introduce more products to the marketplace as buy now. So that's something that's next on the agenda. We want to give you a shopping cart functionality so you can basically order multiple products and do one transaction at the end of the day when you're ready to purchase. We want to consolidate the experience between software and hardware buy now as much as possible. Right now there are some variances in the experience. That is something that is important for us. We're going to start thinking about communication to the customer to make sure the customer is also informed and up to date at every stage of the transaction so that the reseller doesn't have to worry about doing that themselves. And because the functionality is limited to US dollars only at this point, we want to introduce multiple currencies. As Dan mentioned, the marketplace is international. We want to make sure that all the programs that are run within the marketplace are also international. On the MyAdmin side, obviously all the transactions are in the currency of choice or the currency of your region, but at least the prices that are displayed to the customer on the marketplace are all in USD. So that's important for you to indicate to your customers and be aware of as well, because you're going to be the one customizing the pricing within MyAdmin. I hope I didn't miss anything, but I'm pretty sure we have some time for questions, so I'm happy to take any, or if you have any questions for Dan and Louis as well. Oh, there's a mic. Yeah.
Good morning.
Hi.
I've been a reseller with Geotab for about 15 years. I've been in the business for 22 years. I have clients all over the country. In regards to your hardware buy now, I've got a major issue with that because my clients do not all pay the same price. I have negotiated rates with franchise groups, special clients, and I think that's going to cause a lot of confusion. I think the best way to handle that would be to give the reseller the opportunity to opt out in such a way that if somebody, especially since this is public facing, that if they place the order, then it generates a response. Please contact your reseller will be in contact with you
Yeah.
in regards to this order, because pricing in my client base is dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is precisely why we made sure that the pricing is completely customizable within my admin.
Yeah, but if it's customizable, the way I'm interpreting what you're saying is I'd have to go in and with each customer and customize it. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yeah.
And then you have public facing, so if you have people who are within a group, I don't know.
So it's not public facing in the sense that if you go to the public marketplace, you can't see any pricing. You have to be logged in. So this is really targeting existing customers with access to my Geotab already. You have to be logged into your my Geotab database in order to see your pricing. And the association is made by who the database belongs to, what ERP in my admin that database belongs to.
What if someone is not part of the system? If I'm talking to a prospect,
Yeah.
and I've given them a quote, and then I want to take advantage of the resources available in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So, or maybe they find it on their own. If they go in and click buy now, what are they going to see?
They won't be able to click buy now if they don't have access to my Geotab. The moment they gain access to my Geotab, that database is always associated with an ERP of the reseller. And at that point, whatever override you've already done on an ERP level will apply, but you can also customize it further for that customer.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you. That would work.
Perfect.
Next question is for Lewis. This is a bigger business concern.
Okay.
There's no doubt that the marketplace is an enhancement for the customer experience. It's a tool that, as a reseller, that we can utilize. But I do have a problem with some channel conflict within the process. The partners, I've lost several very large accounts to partners through the marketplace. If you don't have a policy in place and you can't enforce it to prevent a partner from engaging with one of my clients directly, then I'm less enthusiastic about utilizing the tools. I've got one pending right now. And so while this is very good for the customer experience, honestly, and I've expressed this concerns to my account managers and other people within Geotab, honestly, this ecosystem is my biggest threat. I lose more customers and clients through the ecosystem to other partners than I have to other telematics providers.
So I just want to make sure I understood that. So the conflict is the partner went direct, not another reseller that was also a partner. You're saying the partner chose, you engaged with them, and then the partner went direct.
Correct.
Right.
All right, so what would happen is, and enterprise is a great example of that from the leasing, and that's really not a marketplace issue. But I've had it happen with other partners, a couple camera companies where the clients through the marketplace have discovered them, and they say, well, I can provide you the whole platform. We can bundle it all together. What are you paying for Fleet Boss services right now? And there's nothing in place to prevent that, where the partners should have a hands-off policy towards existing customers.
Yeah.
They should be engaging me.
Fully acknowledge that. And I would say if you get specific examples, I want to know about that, because that is not the kind of behavior that we expect from a partner on the marketplace, because we have those discussions. In fact, when partners are come on, we often discourage the other conflict, which some partners also are reseller. And we are discouraging. We're saying, pick your lane. Do you want to be a partner? Or do you want to be a reseller? But if you have an example where a partner has done that, has taken a lead that you've given them and gone direct, I want to hear that.
I have several. So do
Okay.
you have a card I can get?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's talk right
Okay.
after this. Yeah, for sure.
Could you explain a little bit more in detail about the multiple tiering of the different service levels that can be specified and selected? in the marketplace experience, you have the different service levels that are like there's a pull-down menu for the rate plans, exactly.
Right. So those are the standard rate plans that exist on any given product. We will expose them further on the marketplace to buy now customers. So, for example, the Go 9 has 4 main tiers: Base, Regulatory, Pro, and Pro Plus. These are basically different feature sets within the Go 9, and now we're just giving the customer the ability to select whichever one they want their product to ship with. Yeah, but I mean, all this stuff is customizable later in my admin as well. I either before the order is processed, or even down the lane. 2-3 months later, you wanna upsell the product, and you want your customer to go up to Pro Plus. You can still make all those changes in my admin.
Other questions? All right, well, thank you, gentlemen, for your presentation. If you have questions, you see them walking around, feel free to ask them, and enjoy the rest of your day at Connect 2020.